Ryan, let's start by talking about the season to date, both for the men's team and the women's team.
Okay, so I think the season's gone, pretty good. There's always things that you can work on through the regular season. That's kind of why we run it in cross country, is to try to, fine tune those things as we head into postseason. I've been very happy with what both teams have shown, as far as work ethic and what they bring to practice. I think that for us the keys, in the remainder of the season is getting a little bit more competitive, transferring a little bit more from what we've done into practice into what we're going to do on the course. I think we've had a solid season, but I always like to have room for improvement, and I think we have that.
Okay. What are your thoughts in terms of both teams, men and the women, heading into the PSAC Championships?
So on the men's side, we've been pretty much a solid third in the rankings since almost the first week of competition. I like to think of terms of A goals, B goals, and C goals. If we go and have a good solid day, our C goal is to be that third place team. I think B is moving up in second, and an A day for us is taking the win. Can we do it? I don't know. A lot of things have to happen, and a lot of things have to fall in place. But I think we have the guys to do it. On the women's side, we're a very, very young team. We're mostly freshmen and sophomores, so it's really just about going out there and gaining a little bit of experience in that environment. But then on the flip side, I've got a senior in Emma Sullivan who is at the top of her game and ready to run, and so for her it's a little bit less challenge for an individual title. So,
talk about your training methods as you enter the latter part of the season.
For us, it's all about consistency and routine. We try not to shake the apple cart too much. Just keep things consistent. We keep our mileage still pretty high. We're not dropping way back. We're not taking it too easy. We'll work out today and get another solid one in and kind of keep the engine running. Some people like to really do taper right back. I don't like to do that because for one we have another month left in the season. Sure. So it's important just to keep that routine going and keep everybody relaxed.
You mentioned mileage. What do you look for in a week's time or whatever in training?
It's very individual based. I work off what's called a mileage sweet spot. So for each athlete, there's that area that they work in. That's where we're getting the best return for the work they're doing. If they work too hard, the fatigue kind of outweighs the benefit. So, through the next week, it's just kind of making sure that we stay on probably the lower end of that sweet spot. So they're still, like I said, keeping their engine running, but we're limiting the fatigue that they're accumulating. So.
Okay. On the men's side, talk about the individuals who will be competing at the PSAC Championships.
We're taking a roster of 10 guys, so it's a big group, and I've told the guys I'm taking everybody who I think can compete to be in my top 7. We don't have a set top 7. I think it's still pretty wide open. I need to have a top 7 because when we go to regionals, that's how many I can run. But I'm looking to just kind of from the front end of the pack continue what they've been doing. Brian Gear has been a real standout as a freshman. I think that John Gasu and Corey Weefing, have done some really solid running, but I think that they can close that gap. And that's kind of what I'm stressing with the guys is we have to close the gap between our 1 and our 5. At the conference meet, that's having a tight pack's going to be what if we win it, that's how we'll do it. Jared Hallow is probably, I'll put the pressure on a little bit, the biggest piece that we have. Okay. He's been out as high as our number 2 guy, and he's been as low as our number 8 guy. I need him to run like a number 2 guy. Did you ask about the women?
Oh, well, that was coming next. Yeah, well, go ahead. Let's talk about the women now.
On the women's side, it's a real spread. Like I said, I've got Emma Sullivan running up front. She's put together a lot of really good races, and she's ready to go. And then I've got a couple of younger athletes who have made some really big strides this year. Abby Peters has become a really phenomenal runner for us. and then I've picked up a few newbies to the sport. Mary Louise Linda, who was a softball player. If she's watching this, she should be a runner because she's exceptionally talented and come a really long way in 2 months. So kind of see what she can do. I know she's a competitor. And then just some more freshmen, Sadie Brown and Pia Briga, just kind of seeing what they can do. So.
Okay. I would think Abby Lang, another runner that you'll rely on at the PSACs.
Yeah, and Abby's kind of, I think, more of a known quantity.
Yeah.
I kind of know what I'm going to get from Abby. So I'm not worried about her performance. I think that she's a real game time athlete. So she'll show up and get the job done. It's those kind of new pieces that'll determine how we do as a team. So.
Obviously, the PSAC Championships are important, but at the same time, everything kind of leads up to the Atlantic Regionals. That's what gets you into the Nationals 2 weeks away. How does that factor into your training and into what you do in this race?
It won't affect what we do in this race. The conference championships for me is important. And I think for this team, the conference championship is viewed as very important. So we're going to go out and we're going to go to the well. We don't play any games on this team. I know some people maybe on other teams might think, well, we'll take it a little bit easier and try to conserve a little bit. We don't do that. We're a hard-nosed team. We run hard pretty much every race we go in. So both genders are going to go out there and really go hard this weekend. As far as training, everything's structured around this setup. So, I'm not doing anything differently than what I would have planned because, I've known since the start of the year that this is what we have in play and this is what we have to prepare for. So, we'll kind of keep working pretty hard this week. We'll race hard and then we'll go hard again next week. It's kind of our sport. That's what we do. So.
Okay. What do you know about the course at Kutztown?
I've never seen it, so I'm running a little bit blind on it. We'll get on there on Friday and run the course, and then kind of as a team we'll go over anything that I see from a coaching standpoint as we need to focus on. The previews that I've read say it's rolling, it's got a few tight turns, mostly around cornfields. From what it sounds like, it's not that exciting, and that's okay. The racing in of itself will be the exciting part. So. Yeah, we'll get a look at it on Friday.
Is there a course that would be more advantageous for your teams? I mean, sometimes you'll hear coaches talk about the hillier courses, or it's a flatter course built for speed. What would be more advantageous for your team?
No, my team is prepared. They're prepared for whatever they have to go up against. They have a lot of self-belief, and they should have because they're very fit and they're ready to go. So. Yeah, there's no course that plays into our team any different than any other. We race the course that we're given and we'll give our best shot. So.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Cool.